Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you're at. Welcome to part 3 of Concept Amaterasu, presented by BKA Adobe Sessions. Or I probably should have said Adobe Sessions presents episode 1, part 3, Concept Amaterasu. So, this is part 3, as I just said. And this is a continuation of the previous 2 episodes. So if you're jumping in at this point, if you want to see how we got to this point, how we got to this point, definitely just go check out the channel and find the previous episodes there. Hopefully I can get, let's say, the final touches done on this, but art can't be rushed. I won't rush it. I've learned better, over time to just literally let things, let things move in their own time. There's no point trying to rush things and, thinking things need to move at what you think is the right time. As humans, I think we're privy to that. We're thinking, okay, well, I want it to move like now, but man, no, life's taught me anything is things move when they're ready. Yeah. Yeah, I'm a bit tired today, so I probably won't be talking as much as I normally would be. But silence is nice. I think I talk a bit too much, generally speaking. So maybe I still might be talking a lot, but in comparison to how I normally, excuse me, in comparison to how much I normally talk, it may appear like I'm sounding depressed or something, but it's not that. I'm just a bit tired. Just a bit tired, not a lot. Okay, so what I'm finna start doing today is really start working on her. That's what I want to do, because she's looking alright, but I haven't actually given her the treatment I actually want to. So that's what I'm looking forward to really doing in this episode. But for now, I'm just trying to touch up the no, let's use a different color actually. Let's not be lazy. It's been an interesting week. Maybe that's a bit too dark. America has a new president now officially. You know, um, I'm not really into politics like that, to be honest. I try to stay away from that stuff. And everyone's got their opinion on things, right? But everyone has an opinion on anything. You know what I'm saying? So it's not really my. Not that one shouldn't have interest in politics, but I'm from the UK. I'm from London, so it's like it is a bit far from home in terms of certain. One could say it's far from home, and one should, if they're gonna be concerned with politics, they should be concerned with the politics that is closer to home. But at this point, like I do believe politics to be a global thing. So it's you're not really dealing with islands. One, the policies of one nation will affect the other. In what way, that shall be, you know what I mean, determined by, again, you know, waiting and seeing how things flesh out. But yeah, I generally try and keep I've learned to keep my opinions to myself, especially on platforms like this where, it's a nuanced thing. It's a nuanced thing. You need to find the right place and the right time, and the appropriate time. You know, because there is a time and place for everything, but you know, as just naturally to find that appropriate time is let's see, look at me adding the details. Um, yeah, finding the right place at the right time, maybe that can stay there, I guess. Yeah, the right place at the right time. It may you may be difficult to find that. You know, it's a trial and error process. For myself, I could definitely say, you know, I've had to definitely learn the hard way that maybe what I'm saying is not necessarily wrong, may not even necessarily be right. That's not really the problem. It's most times mostly the time and place in which you say it, you know. But at the same time, I'm not an advocate of holding your tongue, especially at the expense of yourself. I mean, holding your tongue when it's appropriate, yes, but I mean, just for this, just to make other people comfortable and happy. No, I don't prescribe to that. I believe, you know, you have to speak your truth and you have to say how you feel. You know, even if some people might not like it. You know, but I believe once you have obtained that the ability, the confidence, and the conviction to actually speak your mind, you then need to actually be careful of how you use that power, right? Because it's a powerful thing to be able to actually speak your mind. You know, a lot of people lack it, and um, you know, once you have something like that in your arsenal, in your tool, in your arsenal, if you're Arsenal, shout out to Arsenal by the way. I don't know where they are in the Premier League. I don't really watch football like that. I don't watch football. I don't really care for it, to be honest. I used to watch it when I was younger. I'm older now. I don't really care for it too much, to be honest. I just find watching football very boring, to be honest with you. Um, that's not to say football itself. I don't know. I think it's just the style which they play, and it's just all the diving and all the theatrics. To be honest with you, that I really just can't stand. Like, I remember watching women's football like one time, and I actually found that engaging. I was actually watching that, and that's because you know, like, the women aren't throwing themselves around on the pitch like that. Do you know what I'm saying? Like the women are actually playing football. When you see the men, they're just doing the most, man. You know what I mean? They're jumping around, throwing themselves on the ground, twirling, swirling, and all that funny business, and it just don't sit right with me. I can't really take the game seriously no more, man. So, you know, I mean, I don't know what it's like. I'm pretty sure there are some good matches going on. Like the last time I actually sat and watched a match was while I was at work. Actually, I was at work. It was Real Madrid. It was El Clasico, Real Madrid versus Barcelona. So I guess naturally it's gonna be a heated game, right? But it was alright. Do you know what I'm saying? It was alright, but like I said, um, it was definitely something that I've grown to not detest, but it is a bit of like I can't stand it just because I know of how much politics is involved in it. You know, like stuff like that. Sport. I mean, sports is gonna be political, man. Sports will be a political thing. You know, especially if when it comes to um you know, you have all these nations and these teams and regions of the world. Like football is a big thing. Football is a political thing, you know, or soccer, you know, to Americans, but I'm English. It's football as far as I'm concerned. um, yeah. Oh no message. Just food. It was a radio check. Over. What was I saying? Yeah, I was talking about football. And just the political aspect of sports, which I don't necessarily think is a bad thing, but that's gonna come with unfortunately the aspects of politics that maybe shouldn't be involved in sports. Like well, I mean, you're gonna find corruption everywhere, but it's just disheartening to see, especially in a game, in a thing, in such a thing as sports, any sports really, any sports. But with so much money invested into it, it's very unlikely that things are quote unquote fair play. But that's just my personal take on it. Some people still able to enjoy it. That's good for them. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, you gotta find some enjoyment in this world. You know what I'm saying? Some enjoyment in this world, man. Cause day by day, man, it seems there's less and less to smile about. But we smile regardless, man. That's my attitude. You gotta smile regardless because, like, even when there isn't something to smile about, you should try and smile. It's difficult. You know what I'm saying? Real difficult, boy. But like I said, man, you gotta be stronger than the stuff that comes at you. More talking to myself today still. I don't know, man. I think I'm just suffering from like a sugar rush. I've probably had way too much sugar today. Do you know what I'm saying? I had some flapjacks, had some cookies. I know. I was at work and I just ended up pigging out. Not cool. But tomorrow's a new day. I'll do a little exercise tomorrow, make myself feel better about it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, don't eat flapjacks and cookies for lunch. Get something a bit more nutritious, something that can actually sustain your body. Because right now I feel like I'm getting a mad sugar rush. You know what I'm saying? But you know what, man? My thing is always like when you're at work, no matter how tired you thought you were, the minute it's time to go home, I get all my energy back. Do you know what I'm saying? Like most times anyway, there is a few occasions where I'm actually just done out here and I'm just like, yo, I need to just get home ASAP because I can't actually function like this. Hopefully that's not one of these days because I got stuff to do when I get home anyway. So I've added that little details there, but I'll be honest, I was liking the color before. Yeah, I was liking the color before. I might have to do some outlines on it, but I'm gonna have to leave that there. Oh. I do like that color. I do like the color. Let's mess around with I feel like if I'm picking this color, I'm gonna have to be. What I do try to be conscientious with, especially when I'm using Illustrator, is the colors that I use. Like, more so with paint. When I'm painting it, especially with paint, because you gotta kind of. Sometimes you have to mix. Well, most time to get the color, exact right color, you have to mix it a bit. But I need to learn to actually like get more patient with that aspect. But sometimes I just really be going with very not basic colors, but the colors that I won't really try and get the perfect color that I want. I'll just say, alright, this red is good enough kind of thing. But obviously with Adobe, it's much more easier, obviously, to get the color you want. You have a whole palette there, and boom. Do you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's definitely hasn't taught me to use other colors, but it's shown me that you know take a bit of time out your day to mix and get the right color. It's worth it, But again, my thing with paint, the reason why it took me so long is probably just due to my lack of patience, which is funny because I still think patience is probably my greatest virtue. But whatever. It's a different kind of patience when it comes to paint. So, um, yeah, I'm liking this. Maybe I could have made the beads a bit bigger. It's fine though. I guess it would do for now. So, yeah, concept Amaterasu. I went over it a bit before in the previous video, but you know, if you joined in on this one, I could give you a small breakdown on Amaterasu. So Amaterasu is a solar deity in the Japanese pantheon. Religion wouldn't be the right term. In the Japanese mythos, I could say it like that. In Japanese mythos, Amaterasu is a solar deity. What is interesting about that is in most schools of thinking, when it comes to the the stars, the heavens, which most religions and any sort of mythology, they're always based on nature and the observable universe as we know it. And the sun is normally relegated to us. Well, I say relegated, but it's normally depicted with the masculine. That's how they normally depict a solar deity. You know, think of Christ, for example. That would be a solar deity. And let me think of another example. Helios. Helios would be in the Greek pantheon. So it's very interesting, you know. I find that in the Japanese mythos, it's actually a female who is depicted as the sun, and so she went into a cave and she hid away. And I don't know the whole story completely. I've read it numerous times, but you know, things come and go out my mind. But yeah, I guess I could leave it there. She's a solar deity in Japanese mythology, and I just, yeah, like I said, find it interesting that it's a female that is given that position, because it's a very regal position, you know, and in most cultures, that's reserved for the male, the masculine. So yeah, very interesting. I find it very interesting, and that's the theme and concept I'm working with. Now, obviously, I must say I am taking some creative liberty here. Obviously, this is not what Amaterasu will look like, but this is just my depiction of it. So, you know, let that be in mind. You probably get someone, oh, that's not what they look like. You're taking, you've gone and done this, and but one must understand that a lot of things are down to basically our ideas, right? Things are depicted like everyone knows. I'm sure at this point you probably hear all the time that the depictions of we see of Jesus aren't really accurate, but everyone has their creative license to exercise their agency how they choose, how they see fit, and nothing's really wrong with that. I feel like as long as that disclaimer is known, that disclaimer is there. The problem, I guess, would be when nah, that's too much. It's got to be on the other side. The problem would be when that is put there and people are led to believe that's what it is. Now, those that would believe that is what it is, you would say, well, if they're silly enough to just think that's what it is, then leave them to it, And again, these are some of the problems with these things, is because then who makes the rules? Who is it that has who gatekeeps these kind of ideals to make sure, oh well, no, we have to make sure this is accurate, and especially in a world where everyone has at their hands tools to creatively express themselves. At what point do you say, well, this is where we draw the line, and you can't mess around with this image? Like in Islam, to have any sort of depiction of deity and the prophet is forbidden. That is probably the best way to do it. If you were to police such things, if you're not doing it in that way, and you do have depictions of said deity or historical figure who is held in high regard. You know, you have to be open to the fact that people are going to take creative liberty and do as they will with, you know, with that. So, you know, that's just something for one to think about. Like, how would you think one should go about doing such a thing like that? And I guess everyone would have different answers. Um, how is this looking to me? Do you know what? Like, I would go back and change it, but I feel like I've done a lot of work. I feel like I've done a bit too much work. Wait, I mean, I could kind of go over it, I guess. But I do like them looking bigger like that. Hmm. Nah, it could work like that. It could work like that, I guess. Um, I guess it could work like that. You know, I'm prone to waffling and going on little tangents, and I may not be the most coherent with the things I'm trying to say, but I do hope it don't just come across like that. You know, I would hope. I would hope so. I try my best to be coherent, and it's always been a struggle. But I mean, especially when I'm multitasking, it's gonna be even more so a problem. I don't know why. Why does it keep going over that? What layer is that on? Oh, see, it's all on the same layer. That sucks. Cool. Whatever. Nope, that's the wrong layer. Oh man, this layer business is really it's live by the layers, die by the layers, man. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's looking alright though. Maybe we should actually give her some clothes now that I'm thinking about it. Do you know what I'm saying? Or like a little dress or something. I like the way that was kind of flowing, the colour and that. So let's work with that. Like I said, I'm very big on the human anatomy, especially the females. Like I said, I find it very beautiful, very alluring. You know, I guess that's part of just the nature of the female. So, but you know, I try to keep it as tasteful as I can, while still preserving the the essence of the feminine figure. You know, all in good taste, like I said. You know, trying. It's not like I'm showing any explicit content. I don't really do that. That's not really my kind of art. Well, I mean, when I say explicit, I mean beyond, just a nude form isn't really to me explicit content. Explicit content would be like her engaging in acts, certain things that would be to me explicit content. But everyone's got their own. Because I know some people, they're like, guys, why can't you just draw and wear clothes on more often? Your things are so nice, but I just feel like why have they got to be naked all the time? I'm like, well, love, you just don't get it. I said love. I don't talk to anybody like that. Yeah, but everyone have their own thing. Some people don't mind having naked people hanged up on their walls. Other people, it's blasphemy. To put it lightly. So, but that's what I'm saying. It's a beautiful thing. Different cultures have different levels of tolerance to certain things, and you know, definitely need to be mindful of that. But I always try and do my own thing. Try. I just do my own thing. You know what I mean? Whoever likes it, likes it. Whoever don't. And that's that. I mean, when you're creating, that should really be your. No, it shouldn't be your ethos. It's my ethos. You can have your own idea of how to function as a creative. But to me, it's highly important that my creative agency isn't stifled by things such as that. You know, what society puts on us to say, oh well, this and that. And I'm not saying completely disregard society. You know, I wouldn't say that because I do believe society has its place, 100%. But at the same time, yeah, I don't use that as a sort of measuring stick or a guide as to how to um, express myself as an artist. I just simply express. You know, there may be at times where I think, oh, that's a bit mad. Maybe I should kind of, definitely there'll be times, but that's very rarely, and I can't even think of any examples. Maybe I'm just waffling and just saying that just to sound like I'm a bit more thoughtful with my thing, but most time I've never thought, oh, that's a bit too much. Never. Um, but again, that's just the way I function as a creative. You know, I feel like but I do feel like to be completely see that don't look right. To be completely disregarding of all that stuff, like it's a fine line. It is a real fine line because I do feel like one needs to have some sort of have something there. I don't believe in just being completely wild about it, but at the same time, it's like I don't know, man. There's a really fine line. There's a really fine line. I wouldn't know where to draw it. I wouldn't draw it. I just have my own sort of my own. I live by my own rules, I guess, as a creative. Like, there maybe are things I won't touch. Maybe there are things I won't necessarily express or go down. But yeah, I'll be lying if I said there was a concrete. There is nothing concrete. It's just like I just go by how I flow and how I'm feeling, and most times how I'm feeling is to express myself to my utmost desires in it as much as I want. Like, and I feel like that's the way to get your best work. I'd say is to forget about the world, basically, And I say forget in the sense of not even blocking out the world, but I really do feel like when you're creating, you're in your own space, and it would be almost a bit counterproductive to to as a creator, as a creative, to bring that energy from the world, right? Especially if you are one that is, you know, well, I'll say everyone's kind of sick of what's kind of going on in the world in this day and age. But I mean, certain people are more I won't say in tune, more aligned with the world. I'd say, like, if you feel like don't say like a social outcast. I don't want to say it like I'm that, but I have my own set of ideas and ideals that aren't necessarily in alignment with the masses, and when you say the masses, you mean the world, innit? But obviously, all our ideas come from the world, But I mean, to be worldly is a notion that we're all familiar with. How you would gauge that, I don't know, but basically, essentially, that this is your world that you're now residing in. You're here with me, and I'm here creating. So I don't need, I don't need to then bring the energy and the ideas and the concepts of the world here. I can choose to do that, but I don't necessarily need to do that. And I would almost say it's almost it'll be to a benefit of the artist if I'm not saying ignore it. Definitely, if you're able to acknowledge it, you might even be able to make some work that is complementary to the world. Do you know what I'm saying? This is how new ideas and concepts are born. From my understanding, is to not completely ignore the world and just disregard it, but to definitely draw the line and say, well, this is what I believe, and this is what I wish to do, and this is how I see things, you know, through your own eyes, as opposed to being dictated by the world. Because I believe that's the main problem. It's not really that ideas exist in the world that are maybe you don't align with, but there's a lot of dictatorship within the world that doesn't even give certain people the opportunity to see things differently, and I think that's a real danger. So, yeah, my work is based on that ethos that one has their own ideas. They formulate their own ideas, and if it does still end up aligning with the world, you know, then more power to the world, innit? I guess. How's that looking? I do like it, but something is real off, man. And this is the thing about layers now. A lot of it is gonna look off because it is off. You know, I'm working on certain layers that aren't, I would say aren't there, but let's see, look. Yeah, see that it's a bit better. Well, once I start doing some outlines, it probably look a lot better. But as of the moment, it just looks very messy. But you know what? I don't even need this there. I guess if the whole thing's gonna be there, that will probably make it look a lot less messy. Maybe that's what it is that made it look so kind of weird to me. Um, yeah. What I was saying about the world is, yeah, just bringing your own thing, and I think that's what really is beautiful about mythology. You know, it brings you into into a world that is still of the earth. You know, the mythologies are based on the world, but they bring such ideas and concepts that we're not necessarily used to seeing in our day to day lives. You know, and it appears magical, fantastical, um, and I feel like to be able to do that with the world that exists in our world is a beautiful thing. You know, to be able to do that, and so yeah, that's what I hold in high esteem, man. The creative faculties of us, innit, human beings, man. It is a beautiful thing, especially when it's utilized. Especially when it's utilized, because you know there's a lot of people I know that are very creative, but they feel like well, not like they feel like they don't exercise it as much as they say, oh, I would like to definitely do this and that more, you know, and obviously for one reason or another they're unable to do so. So I always find it, I have to remind myself it's even a blessing that I'm able to, you know, to be able to have the resources and the time to do that, you know, to be able to actually express myself. Do you know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, for one reason or another, a lot of people don't have that, you know. Some of it is through their own volition. Sometimes, you know, let's be honest, some of it could be just down to laziness. But a lot of the time, it's because they just have a lot of other responsibilities. Again, worldly responsibilities that doesn't enable them to do it as much as they like, you know. But I definitely believe it's still there residing, and you know, when one wishes, if you're someone like that who you know you wish you could spend a bit more time expressing yourself creatively in some form or way, um, you know, a word of encouragement that it will remain there. You know, I definitely believe it's like a muscle. The more you use it, the more you have. But never go into the fearful mindset of like you have it's a resource that you're gonna use up if you will dry up. Maybe some people may be inclined to say otherwise. Say, oh, it will. You know, like if you don't use it, you lose it. I do believe that to an extent, but I'm gonna be optimistic here, and I'm gonna say it won't go away. Like the day you do decide to sit down or get up or do whatever, however you creatively express yourself, the day you choose to do that, it will be there ready for you. You know. So word word of encouragement, word of just positive thinking for those that you know do struggle to find the time. But at the same time, to add balance, I do believe we make time for that which is important to us. You know, I would be definitely discrediting a lot of other creatives, including myself, if I was saying, you know, yeah, we have an abundance of time, and this is why we're able to express ourselves like this. Because, bruh, sometimes, especially when I was younger, like when I was really into my work, bro, I would come home after a long day at work and I would sit down in front of that desk and I would be drawing and, depriving myself of sleep in that. And looking back, that was a very strong level of dedication that, I wouldn't say I don't have it today, but I can't remember the last time I came home from work and sat down at a desk and pulled my work. But I mean, the way I make art now is different. My life is different, so I don't necessarily have to be at work all day and then come home and do that. You know, yeah, things are different. Even where I make my work and the way I do it, all of that's changed and developed as time's gone on. So, but still, you know, it's you do we do make time for what's important to us. People included. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe in people being too busy for people. You know what I'm saying? Let's just be real in this day and age. I mean, unless we're talking about someone that lives like on the other side of the planet or something, or even the other side of the country, but I'm not talking about that. Like I said, I live in London, so all my friends in London are no more than an hour away from me. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, we do have a hard time convincing. You're gonna have a hard time convincing me that no, it's because I don't have the time. We got time. We got time. We just make time for what we choose to. And again, obviously, some people are very busy. Sometimes I am very busy. I understand some of my friends are very busy, but I still believe we make time for what we choose to, and I always believe that. But there's periods in life. There's periods in life where you're readily more accessible, and there's times where you're not going to be. You know what I'm saying? And obviously, as adults, we need to be just growing up about that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have to tell myself sometimes, yo, they're busy. And sometimes I have to tell people like, yo, listen, I'm busy, bro. Busy, sis. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not that. It's not what you think it is. I just got shit to do right now. But I guess that's just a symptom, a byproduct of the day and age we're in. With our phones, so readily available, accessible. We're easily accessible. All it takes is dial a few numbers, a few clicks on a screen. And someone's able to contact you. Sometimes you don't want to be contacted. Sometimes you don't, innit? And you get that's something I'm sure we all have learned. Like sometimes these things, man. Sometimes I'll be looking at my phone. I'm like, yeah, I don't even feel like answering that, man. You know what I'm saying? Man? Don't, for one reason or another. Sometimes I just want to be alone. It's hard to even be alone in this day and age, right? You know, and I feel like loneliness. No, not loneliness. Being alone and being lonely are two different things. I believe. Solitude is definitely the one of the catalysts for my creative process. Definitely in it. Same way, just being with people. Sometimes I'll be inspired by. I'll see one of my friends and I like the way, especially women. In it again, when it comes to the women, like, I see one of my friends and I like the way she's dressed, and I'm just like, yo, like, I see you, sis. You know what I mean? I see you. I see what you're doing there. Um, because I believe generally women dress better than men. Do you know what I mean? And for the most part, women are much more aesthetically um, conscious. They know what works. You know what I mean? I see some nice dressing brothers as well, definitely, innit? Don't get me wrong. Give it up to my brothers as well, but the women, come on, man. There's a reason why they take a lot longer getting ready and that. They really know what they're doing, man. You know what I'm saying? Definitely 100%. I'm hoping. Now it's getting real messy, but I guess at this point I shouldn't really, I'm not saying I shouldn't care too much, but see, all my layers are getting confused, and it's because I chose to add clothes now, but that's fine. Like I said, it's just what goes on. That's what happens if you don't actually have a plan. if you don't actually have a plan, then this is what happens, people. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't intended to give a close and that, but obviously it's happened. And it's fine because she looks cool. She looks awesome. That little bulge there is kind of bugging me though. I'll be honest. I don't think it needs to be that. Oh wow. Oops. It doesn't definitely need to be that extravagant. Yeah. See, and now this is where things just really start getting messy. Real messy, man. But it's cool. It's cool. We move. We move. We move. Got to keep it moving, man. You know. How's that looking? That's definitely a bit better. Um, yeah, yeah. I was saying the way women dress is definitely inspiring. You know, just seeing the colors and the gowns and all that kind of stuff is. I find that really dope, and it's a big inspiration of my work because obviously I'm not a fashion designer or anything, but when I do draw clothes and that, I do try to make them look kind of cool. You know, it won't just be a simple T-shirt and a jacket, or maybe sometimes it might be, but a lot of the time I definitely like to flex my creative muscles in that aspect as well and try and make a little fit for the character I'm designing. Um, that being said, I definitely have to go over all these lines again. You know, I don't even know why I'm making things difficult for myself in using this stroke size. I can definitely just make it smaller and definitely get to the gaps I need to. Yeah, this is what happens, man. Most time with my art, it always it never ends how I imagined it. Didn't intend to give all these things, but here we are. Here I am making it more difficult for myself. I think as well, what's kind of making it a bit look weird as well is the fact that it's the same color as this fan, but that won't be that for much longer. I'm definitely gonna change the color, especially now. It was a nice color before, but now that her gums are pretty much this color, it's a bit more necessary to actually yeah. See, that's looking alright. Just gotta fill in the gaps there, and then definitely add a like two tone it, maybe with two tones, maybe three. Maybe three. I don't think actually get rid of that a bit. Yeah, that's definitely a lot better now. Don't give it a little edge there. Hmm. Yeah, in other news, still don't have a PS5. That would be nice, especially on the lockdown. It would have been nice to have a PlayStation 5, right? But you know how these things go, man. And I mean, it's like I really wouldn't have much time to play it anyway. Like as much as I wish I would. It's crazy, man. If this lockdown happened like a good even 5 years ago, I would have been over the moon. You know what you mean? I ain't got to go to work. But I guess obviously you're younger, so obviously it's less responsibilities. So obviously I'm gonna feel like that. But yeah, that's looking wavy still. Yeah, yeah, less responsibilities, I guess. So the lockdown business probably. But this is definitely like again to myself, sort of like a message that you want something when you get. I mean, I didn't ask for lockdown, definitely didn't. But the the um the notion of you want something and when you get it, you know. But I don't know why I mentioned that because I didn't ask for lockdown. But the idea of it in my head wouldn't really sound like a bad idea, but in reality, this is not at all what I find. I'm not at all enjoying this. You know what I mean? I like my freedom. I like going out and enjoying myself. And I'm not even going out like, I never used to even go out like that. You know what I mean? Like, definitely wasn't that guy going out and doing the most. I mean, obviously you go out from time to time and it's enjoyable, but one of the reasons it is enjoyable is because I rarely ever do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm more like, I'm not saying I'll be in my house all day, but like, I'm more interested in like going to a club and stuff now, like, but going to a nice like poetry session, or well, really just no, just really just being out with your friends and that. You know what I mean? Like that's what man misses, that ability to just, hey, what are you doing? What are you up to? Oh, nothing, man. What are you saying? Oh, nothing, man. Let's go check out ABC. Okay, oh, there's this event going on. You know what I mean? That's what I miss personally. I don't like the clubs and all of that. I'm not really into. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been to more than enough clubs. I've done that, so I can definitely say some. I've had my time. I've had my time. I've had my fun. You know what I'm saying? I was never really even big on it. You know what I'm saying? But I've definitely had enough wild nights to savor the memories and think, yeah, that was crazy. That was fun. Do you know what I'm saying? Without having to go out there seeking, looking for more. Because I mean, at this point, I mean, probably due to my line of work as well, I find myself in clubs all the time a lot. But I mean, it's almost like, what are you going out there for? Is it to dance? You could dance. You know what I mean? Is it to dance? Is it to drink? I don't drink, so you know what I mean. It's a bit like, what am I actually going out there for? I would ask myself that. Is it for the good women, the kind of women I'm interested in? Probably aren't going to be at the club. You know what I mean? And no, I mean, listen, I'm not saying there's all types of girls that go clubbing in it, but it's not really the environment, to really get to know a woman, or to even meet a girl, really. You know what I mean? I mean, I met a few girls at a club, but you know, again, when you actually think about it and deep it, is that where you're actually, is that where you put your cards? You know what I mean, fellas? If you're thinking, I want to bag a chick, do you think, yeah, let me go to the club? I don't. You know what I mean? I don't. But I don't know, man. The whole world's changing. You know, the whole world is changing. You know what? I really do like the way it's looking like that, though, without the lining. I think the lining's a bit too thick as well, to be honest. Yeah, I think it's way too thick. Let me leave it like that for now. I mean, I can definitely add it to like the edges and that. I feel yeah, like that. That's alright, and that's not even necessary. I feel like it was only really necessary up there because of how much lining has gone on down there. But you know, like the cleanup for this one's gonna be mad still. There's a lot of cleaning up to do. Where are we at in terms of time? I think maybe another 10 more minutes. So this has definitely been nothing really's changed that much. I mean, I've just given her, beyond me giving her this. It's definitely okay. Well, no, definitely time to two-tone it and at least make it start looking a bit more dynamic. I love that word. yo, drop down anyone. I want to make this more dynamic. You know what I mean? That's definitely gonna raise some eyebrows. You know what I mean? Next time you're in the workplace, how can we make this more dynamic? Whatever it is, it doesn't matter what your job is, man. You drop that word at work, people are gonna look at you different, man. Trust me. Oh man, don't listen to me, man. I'm an idiot. I see some stupid stuff, man. Let's make this more dynamic. What are you talking about, man? How can you make a bathroom more dynamic? I don't know. I don't know how you can make a bathroom more dynamic, but I don't know, man. Yeah, don't ignore me, man. Ignore me. I be saying the most silliest things, man. But yeah, no, I stand by what I say. I mean, I'll say I'm silly, but these times I'll still by standing by. I'll still will stand by what I say. You know, there's just certain words that sound cool, even if you're not like using them correctly, or you know what I mean. They're not really applicable nor necessary. You just drop that word, it's different. Go home to your wife, yo, listen, babe, I want to make things more dynamic. You know what I mean? Like, she'd be thinking, what are you chatting about? What? Like, another part of her would be thinking, ooh, what does he mean? Like, you know what I mean? Go to your boss, say, you know what, boss? You know, see how much I get paid already? I was wondering if we can make things a bit more dynamic. Try it. See where it gets you. And hit me back up and let me know what happened. And if you get fired, which I doubt, you know what I mean? That's not really, it's not really enough to get fired, but you know, your boss might look at you a bit like, what's this motherfucker talking about? What's this guy really chatting about make things more dynamic? A more dynamic paycheck, I can tell you what that look like. I can't. I can't tell you what it looks like. I don't know, man. It looked like a pay rise. That's what it looked like. But I mean, who knows, man? Who knows? Who knows? But words are very important on the subject. You know, how you say things is very important. So I probably shouldn't be so frivolous with the way I say things. But you know, live and learn, man. You're only young once. You know what I mean? And day by day you're getting older. So you know, you better really savor and exercise your youth while you can, man. But at the same time, youth is a state of mind. They say, you know, youth is a state of mind, and I'm inclined to agree. You know, some people get old before the time, and some people stay youthful up until the end, man. You know what I mean? It's all about how you just take things on your on your shoulder or the back, however you wanna, whatever term is most fitting for you. You know, your outlook. I feel like a youthful outlook on the world, and that doesn't mean immature. And that's one thing I'm having to learn and really try and exercise the right way. It doesn't mean immature. It doesn't mean silly, but to remain not childlike. It's probably a better word. The essence of youth. The essence of youth is a beautiful thing, you know, and yeah, that will do. It's a beautiful thing. And I encourage everyone to tap into that energy that they have, you know, because it's still there, one way or another, you know. Um, your youthful energy, yeah. Don't please don't get the wrong idea. I think I'm saying something else. Tap into your youthful energy. Do you know what I'm saying? Do something that will allow you to tap into that part of yourself, like something creative, mostly, innit? To be honest, it is something creative most times. Still, you know what I'm saying? Um, Definitely tap into that. So, okay. Well, this is gonna definitely end in the next like 5 minutes. So I hope I've made enough progress that it actually looks quite worthwhile. This is probably gonna be the chapter, sorry, the part with the most like. I don't know. I don't really feel like I've done much in this one. You know, I don't. I feel like I've kind of just not messed around. I mean, I've given her. I mean, I have, but I don't know, man. Maybe that's just the critic in me as the creative. Like, I just feel like I've. You know what it is? I feel like it's because what I've done essentially on this one, I've completely messed up my layers. So at this point, it's literally I can no longer rely on working layer by layer, and I know that it's completely my fault. Probably didn't have to fall into that trap, but I did in it. I definitely did. It's not that bad actually. Now that I'm thinking about it, no, it's not. If I get rid of, see, she looked good even without the tails and that, man. But yeah, this is looking alright still. Okay. One thing I can definitely do before I knock off this one is definitely want to change the color scheme of this. I was definitely going to do that in the last one. Um, let's see what we get. That is a real. I really like that. Like I was thinking more like a navy blue, you know, more like a skyline. But that right there, what I just got, is real nice. I was thinking like this, maybe even a bit darker actually. Um, so that's definitely I could probably something I'll work on in the next episode. This is what I was kind of going for in it. This is what I had in mind, but this is really nice. Like this works with everything, and it's the shades are it's a different. Because I mean, if I do the sky like that, it's gonna be blue like the water, and even though it's a different tone than that, it's still like I'm very like that. It's like if the water's blue, I can't do the sky in blue. I've got to do something different, But this really works. Like this is really pretty. Big ass grown man. Oh, that's pretty. No man, this is real pretty, man. I like this is looking like that, and I don't mean to be vain about my work, but like colors, like I said, is very important to me. This is looking really nice. I might even just leave it like that and continue from next time. What was it looking like before? Yeah, definitely gonna keep it like that for now. I could definitely change it. This is looking a lot better than it was from the beginning. So this has been Concept Amaterasu. This is part 3. BKA, Barkim Arts, Adobe Sessions. This is where we're at the moment. Definitely feel like the next part should be wrapping things up, She's pretty much looking cool. Probably need to add some details to her fan, the branches on the tree, the skyline, sorry, pardon me, just details, but we're definitely getting there. And I'm actually happy with this still. I was thinking I don't really do that much, but it never really feels like you're doing a lot until you look back and the end and think, all right, maybe I wasn't just being wasting my time, because that's what it feels like a lot of the time, man. Doing art, man, a lot of the time it can just feel like wasted time, but it feels like that until one day you just put that one little thing on top, and boom, you're like, oh wow, look, it all came together, and it's a beautiful thing when it does, because most of the time when you're working on the piece, when I'm working on my pieces, it looks like a mess. Why did they just do that? That's weird. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. Definitely stay tuned for part 4. Can't believe it's running that long, but you can't put a time on art, I suppose. If you enjoyed this video, definitely like and subscribe. Definitely more content coming. Also, check out my Instagram, and if you have any sort of inquiries regarding any artwork you see that you might be interested in purchasing, please don't hesitate to email the link below. You'll find my email there, you'll find my Instagram links, and soon enough, hopefully my website, once things are back up, or I'm not even too sure, because the way things are going this year, I might not even need my website. It definitely would be nice, but yeah, I have other things planned. There's always one way or two ways to navigate through things. Thank you for tuning in, man. Definitely. We'll catch you next time. Peace, power, love, all of that, and thanks for tuning in.